Hello from Boston. Today is Wednesday, December 29th. This is actually the third walk video I'm doing today. And it's a vacation week in Boston, so lots of people in town, lots of people bringing their kids in town. It's about 42 degrees out, so it's quite nice. And there's Quincy Market right there. There's a carousel. We're on the Rose Kennedy Greenway that runs through the center of Boston. And the carousel is still running, even here in the winter. And here's a nice big map of Boston. And you are here. Well, I am here. And you are here vicariously or virtually. Well, kind of, sort of. Let's see. Yeah, here's where we are. This is the Greenway, the Rose Kennedy Greenway. See how it goes all the way through the city? And underneath this Greenway is the central artery, the tunnel that goes all the way through the city. It goes from the expressway, and you go down under the city, all the way under the city. This was the big dig. They had to dig out a tunnel right through the center of a city that's about 300, 400 years old. So, and here's the Boston Common over here. The frog pond where they do skating is right there. And here's the Seaport District over here. The North End up here. If you like Italian restaurants, you'll love the North End. And here's Quincy Market, where I just came from, and that's a great tourist area. But anyway, I'm going to walk along the harbor today. Okay, here's Christopher Columbus Park. I really wanted to come in here at night because this wooden archway right here is completely strung up with blue lights, deep blue lights. It's all lit up with blue lights all the way down, and at night it looks just spectacular. There might be some white lights there too, but it's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful blue lights here. And a lot of people come in to take pictures. But it's not going to be dark out for another hour and a half. And I'm not going to wait around for that. But it's very busy in the city today, probably all week, because it's still the holiday season. People are still in a festive mood. The kids are all out of school, so people are coming in town, and I hear accents from people all over the world, languages from all over the world, so it's nice. People are coming in town, having something to eat. And the North End is that way, but I'm going to head towards the harbor. Right over here. Head more towards the Seaport District. And here's a ferry for the MBTA. I don't know where that ferry goes to. It might go down to the South Shore, down to Hingham, or maybe it goes, I don't know, there's a ferry that goes up to Salem too, I don't know. That building with the pointy top is the Custom House Tower, built many eons ago. And this brick building here is the Marriott Long Wharf, which was built in the early 80s. That's the ferry. It's probably cheap to get on that ferry. It's probably the same price as getting on the subway. Probably make a really cheap, fun ride around the harbor. Oh wow, the big ship coming in. It's a big tanker, I think. Maybe loaded up with fuel. We'll probably go unload over in Chelsea, maybe. I mean Everett. And now we're in the back of the Marriott Long Wharf. And that concrete tower there, right up there, there's two of them, the twin concrete towers there. They were built in the 70s, I think the early 70s. I think probably the latest around 75. And those are condos. Those are some of the oldest high-rise condos in Boston. And here's the ferries. Oh, there's the Salem Ferry that goes up to Salem. And this ferry over here, I think that is a lunch dinner ferry. You go out there in the summertime, and they have like a buffet. I believe they have like a buffet, a lunch buffet on that ferry, and it goes out and it cruises around the harbor, just out there for, I don't know, maybe 2 hours or something like that. And you can enjoy a nice buffet and sit down dinner, lunch, while you enjoy the view. I've never been on it, but it looks really nice. And there's Legal Seafoods over there. Looks busy. It's one of the many Legal Seafoods in Boston and around the area. That's a pretty big one though. I'm actually not much of a seafood eater, so I don't know if it's as good as its reputation says it is or not. And here's the aquarium. And if you like mariachi. actually do like mariachi, some of it. Well, naturally, the aquarium is going to be very busy today in this vacation week. I think I can go around this way. This is an IMAX theater. I don't know what they're playing. Yeah, I can just go around this way. You can walk all along Boston's waterfront, the so-called Harbour Walk. It is mandatory. If you own property in the harbor, you need to allow public access to it. See, Harbour Walk. Harbour Walk downtown. The city will you're required. It can't be private. You can't buy the property here and block it off from the public. And it can't be blocked off from the general public. So we all get to enjoy the beautiful harbor. This boat is called Seize the Day, S-E-A-S, Seize the Day. And here you have a nice view of the harbor. Right here in a nice area. Nice area to sit and walk around and enjoy the harbor. That is the Hyatt Harbor side over there. It kind of looks like a lighthouse on the right side of it. It's meant to look like a lighthouse. And just to the left of it there is the Boston Logan Airport Tower. That's kind of looks like a robot. And it's kind of a, it's been there since the late 60s, early 70s. And it's an unusual look, but it's, I like it. It's very symbolic of Boston, I think. And here's the Seaport District over here, across the water there, and that's all new, relatively new. The building with the brick and the big glass, sweeping glass facade there is the federal courthouse building. So they spared no expense building that. To the left of that is Vertex Pharmaceuticals, that's their new headquarters there. And they spared no expense building that. And a nice new condos over there, a couple of new condos there, and those are on the pricey side, to put it mildly. And right here is the Boston Harbor Hotel, that brick building right here, but it's also residences as well. This part here is a residence. And these things here, these big aluminum shapes here, these are called art installations. Looks like the surface of an airplane. Well, I guess that's, you know, it's not my cup of tea. If this is art, it ain't my cup of tea. guess I'll go up this way. Yeah, see, these are residences at the Boston Harbor Hotel. Condos. And you get a great view of the city over here. The Custom House Tower. Very nice. 20 Rose Wharf. That's the residence there, that condo. The residences at Rose Wharf. Sounds very fancy. Let's see what it looks like here. Well, it's a nice view. This is a nice view right here.
Let me parent picture again.
This is really beautiful here. There's a huge American flag. Really, this kind of reminds you of the dome at Quincy Marketplace. This is new. This wasn't a renovation. This was brand new. But they kept it in the traditional style, the historic traditional style, and it's a beauty. Lots of brick. A big open area here so you can see right through to the harbor. It doesn't block the harbor off from the rest of the city here on Atlantic Ave. These trees are all covered in nice lights. And here's the Boston Harbor Hotel right here. Nice and warm. Nice and warm. They have the infrared lights because, God forbid you should feel a chill if you're walking out the door from the Boston Harbor Hotel. What do we got here? Some kind of a bar, oh, Rose Wharf bar. Let's just look in this building here. It's just an office building, but it's an old building, and it's like many in Boston, many on the harbor, on the waterfront. It's with all that brick. They're all beautifully restored buildings with brick and those archways, and they're just beautiful. A lot of offices around here, law offices and the like. You see that all along the harbor here, the waterfront, all the way up to the north end. Old restored warehouses and that sort of thing. And here's that lobster place, James Hook and Company, retail shop, live lobsters and seafood.
$25 with $7.
Popular place. Ooh. It's painted blue like the ocean. Can eat inside too. But I'm not big on seafood, so I've never actually eaten there. I've never actually had lobster. Don't tell anyone, because if you're from Boston and you've never had lobster, I think that's a mortal sin. But maybe someday. Now I'm on Seaport Boulevard, heading to the Seaport District. They had a chance to redevelop an entire huge part of Boston in a prime location right on the water. It was mostly all parking lots, vacant parking lots over here. I used to park here for, I think it was $5. You could I used to park here for like $5, and then go over to some boats leaving, then go over to work in Quincy Market, walk over to Quincy Market, and then come back late at night. And it was only $5. And the parking garages in Boston were a lot more than that. And now they got to basically start from scratch. And I think you'd have to say it's quite a success, because lots of people here. People flock to the Seaport District. They've kept this old church over here. This is the Our Lady of Good Voyage church. There's a little church over there, chapel. And the sailors, before the sailors would go off to sea, the priest would give them their blessing, the blessing of the ship or whatever. And so they purchased the land, but in exchange, I think they built this brand new church. So that little church is still there. A new building, but it's still there. So they kept the old and the history and tradition of the area, but they built a beautiful new modern area around it, and it worked out well because people like it. And this is the Courthouse Station on the Silver Line. So you can go right over to the airport from here, down there. You can go over to the airport. You can go just one stop into South Station, one or two stops. Very convenient. This way and say, from the Seaport District in Boston, farewell from Boston.